We're going to talk about a recently discovered bug that allows you to have any perk 1 from Vanguard on pretty much any weapon in the game. So you can have an 11 attachment Vanguard weapon or a 6 attachment Modern Warfare or Cold War weapon. So we'll kind of break down all those details. If you enjoy the video, hit the like button. If you're brand new, want to find your way back, subscribe with notifications on. So there are only certain instances where this is going to be useful. And initially I thought, hey, you know what? I probably won't even cover this. It's going to be so complicating to pull off, but it ends up actually being way easier and way simpler than it sounds initially once you see it in action. So what you're looking at here is the perk 1 category. All the Vanguard weapons have essentially about 12, 15 different perks within the perk 1 category, and they don't share them all. So in this particular case, if we're looking at the brand, you can see that it has tight grip, but imagine having tight grip plus hard scope. Or in this particular case, maybe we want gung ho on our shotgun, so we have 0 sprint out time. We pull the trigger, bullets automatically come out. Or with the Kar 98, maybe we want those 5 attachments, but we also want sleight of hand. And these are different potential options that you can actually make happen. And some don't necessarily work. For example, akimbo, if you try to use akimbo, it will not work in this scenario. You're not going to end up with 2 weapons instead of the 1. For whatever reason, it doesn't work with akimbo, but thankfully it does not. So just an example of what this looks like. This is the regular PPSH without any special perks on there. Obviously we know the PPSH, a lot of people have made it really popular to have a hipfire build, but you do not have gung ho. You only have tight grip, which helps with recoil on both while aimed down sight, sustained recoil, and in the hipfire. And this is what it's supposed to look like when you fire the weapon. There's a little bit of a delay. You see the gun comes down, there's a slight delay, and then bullets come out, and that is without gung-ho. You have your standard sprint to fire time. Most SMGs anywhere between 2 to 250. Obviously, rifles, LMGs are a little bit slower, and sniper rifles slow as well. So that's what it is supposed to look like. Your gun's supposed to come down, and here's how it looks when you have it equipped with gung-ho, which it doesn't even have access to within the game. You don't actually have access to it. So look at how it comes out here. That is how it looks without. So here's a little bit of gameplay with it in action. I'm pushing up, trying to identify where the guy is. I come through, automatically it fires. I'm in the hip fire, and that is one scenario. I'm sure you guys will get creative and figure out a bunch of other ways and different combinations that work. But these are just ones that we were able to figure out while testing. And I say we, because it wasn't just me, it was a few other streamers, and we'll go ahead and look at their gameplay as well. So here I've gone and I used the Owen gun, which has sleight of hand, and now I have sleight of hand on my PKM, which is a Modern Warfare gun, and I do not have sleight of hand equipped. I have the normal longest barrel, I have the monolithic suppressor, I have the optic, attack laser, and the snatch grip. That's 5 attachments. You can see them there if you're familiar with what the attachments look like. And then look at how fast this reload animation is, 100% sleight of hand. So you can see that is 100% sleight of hand. So obviously we're getting the effect there on another weapon. And the first person that let me know about this was a streamer by the name of Yeet, which we've talked about on the channel. Amazing Warzone player, like top 10 in wins, and overall just a very good keyboard and mouse player. So he's gonna come over here. And you can see this, if you look closely, you can see the standard recoil pattern of the AS44, whatever build he had here. And you're going to see the build with tight grip built in. So now he's going to just do it from 12 meters, keep it consistent, and then he's going to fire without actually adjusting for recoil. It doesn't move. So there are certain builds you're going to be able to combine perks that traditionally are separated to balance those weapons, but now you're going to be able to stack those on. So you have that all set up there, and that's kind of how that. He's just like, what? Like, what's going on? And then right here, JGOD Chew is another streamer. He's on a huge subathon. He's going to be streaming for the next 194 hours and has been streaming for a month straight. Obviously takes breaks to sleep and stuff, but the stream does not stop even when the power goes out. So here is kind of a clip and what you do in action. We're going to look at a couple clips because I've explained it to a couple people that are knowledgeable about the game and it is still confusing. So I'm going to walk you through step by step what is happening. So what he does here first, initially, he gets his first loadout. And for the purposes of this instruction, the only gun that really matters in this equation is the first gun that he's holding is going to be the Bren. And the Bren is equipped with tight grip. So that's essentially what we're looking at here. He's going to go ahead and push through over here. He has tight grip. And the trick to this is you fire a bullet from each of the guns. Simple enough. No matter what you grab, you fire a bullet from each of the guns. Straightforward. So you're going to see that in action.
I have no idea.
So he fires that. He goes and pushes towards this other loadout up the hill. He drops the guns. That's part 3. Grab loadout. Part 2 is fire a bullet from each of the guns. Part 3 is drop those guns. Part 4, pick those guns back up. So now they both are missing 1 bullet. Sounds weird, but this is how it's done. So now he's going to go ahead and push up to this loadout. We'll skip a little ahead. So when he comes up over here,
look at fast, it changes weapon.
he grabs the loadout. And you're going to see he grabs a Cooper carbine, which has hard scoped, equipped as part of that build. And the Brand's Perk 1 gets thrown on to the Cooper carbine. So now the Cooper carbine has tight grip, hard scoped, and probably like fully loaded for its, Perk 2. I don't know what he had for that. So there it is. And then when he shoots it, he doesn't even need to aim because it has double perks that you're not supposed to have on that weapon, right? Pretty straightforward stuff there. And we'll look at another example. So here's him doing the scenario, but now he's putting hard scoped on his Bren and he's putting hard scoped on his Owen gun. So first loadout, he's grabbing the Cooper.
So yes.
And this Cooper has hard scoped on it. So he fires the weapon.
That's weird though. I've been playing all night and it was
Fires it. They're both fired. That's step 2. He's going to drop them. Pick them back up. They're both missing a bullet. He reloads it. You only need to reload the one that you're trying to steal the perk from, which in this case is the Cooper with the hard scoped. And now when he grabs this loadout, his Perk 1 from the Cooper is being thrown on both of these weapons. Not just the top one, but it's being thrown on both of them. So you will have a Owen gun with sleight of hand and hard scoped. And you're going to see how this makes the recoil look. So here's the initial recoil pattern. Not a lot for the Bren.
No.
Pretty straightforward. And this isn't even the low recoil Bren. This is the standard 100 round mag, which has a little bit more recoil.
Wait.
The only thing
So
is
even
that-
at far
yeah,
distances, you're going to be able to
both of you.
beam. Now here's the Owen gun. Same thing. It has that
Gun.
perk
So if you
plus
look at my
sleight of
Owen-
hand or whatever. And look, this is without controlling for recoil. See, he lifts the
doesn't
mouse.
hurt.
You can see it on the
doesn't
screen. We'll go ahead and watch that again so you can see it. Look right here on the screen. He lifts the mouse just to show that he's not adjusting for recoil because this is giving it unintended benefit. So if hard scoped reduces your recoil by like 80%, which some tests have seen, then you're getting 80% less recoil on a gun that doesn't normally have that one. So that's what we saw in the case with the Yeet, where it showed that the AS44 had no recoil. It's because you're essentially combining it with perks that it should not have. Hopefully that explains it. Pretty straightforward. I don't know if they can fix it. Hopefully they can, but it's pretty straightforward. Not necessarily difficult to do. You just need 2 loadouts to make it as easy as possible. Appreciate all the support on the content. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.